Okay, awesome. So good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining. We're recording this session, so for those of you that watch this at a later date, um, today we have with us Mr. Biolu. Um, uh, it's a great privilege to have him join us. He's the founder and president of Resolve Farms, a great entrepreneur, an award-winning entrepreneur, someone I admire a lot. Today, he'll be sharing with us farming through the storm, the challenges that we face as farmers, especially in Canada. And I have tremendous respect for him, especially because to be a farmer, especially to be an immigrant and to be a farmer in a cold country like Canada, and to be able to carve a niche and for yourself in this market that we have less than 2% farmers that identify as black is something that that is just amazing. So without further ado, I'll let him uh, go ahead and introduce himself, and we will take questions at the end of his presentation. Again, thank you all for joining. All right, I'll mute myself now.
Thank you, Mr. Akin Busari. It's a pleasure to have me on board. And it's a pleasure to be given this opportunity to speak to the wonderful people of Pamoja. I have been reading about you. I have read about you. I've heard about you, and I could remember the day we met at the Black. That was a Black organization that was organized, a Black gathering that was organized by the University of Guelph. That was my privilege to meet you in person. Oh, you Pamoja? I said, I thought Pamoja is not. It's not a, let's say West Africa or a Nigerian name. So when you start saying Akin, I said the Akin, Niger. So it was so. I was so excited to know. You know the feelings you see when you run into someone that that looks like you and you are in the same boats together. So I give that to you, Mr. Akin, and to the whole body of Pamoja. If it's a player and I can see your great effort, what you're doing, I celebrate you. And I say together we are going to take over what belongs to us. I was just coming from a meeting now with one of my stakeholder in the Black Farmer Network, and I was telling him, hey, we got to take what belongs to us. And he said, do you know what belongs to us? This country belongs to us. This is our home, and we have to function fully in our home. So we are not an alien. So we might be immigrants, but we'll function fully. So that leads to the topic of the day. But before that, I want to introduce myself to give us better understanding of where I'm from and who I am. I'm Biolu Isola, and as the name implies, I'm from Nigeria. And also, I am the director of Resolve Farms. So, Resolve Farm is a farm that was incorporated in 2020, 2021, and we've been doing well. Going through storm, and we've been surviving. And we are looking forward to a bigger, better us. And I'm also the executive director of Black Feminist Network. It's a non-for-profit that was created in November 2025, and with the hope of building a platform that can give us a voice and can create the visibility that we need to attain what belongs to us. So I'm also a cooperative builder. That's another aspect of me that is working with some cooperative organization that were just newly, I mean, that was newly established. And also, I'm a community leader. And in my professional life, I am into health and safety. So I've been around the world as a professional environmental health and safety personnel. And agriculture is part of me, born into a farm setup back in Nigeria. And leadership is part of is an inborn trait. So I'm an advocate for food security and economic empowerment. So wealth creation, building wealth through inclusive farming, building wealth through inclusive farming. It's an avenue to build wealth. So that's who I am, and that's what I speak for. That's what I stand for. That's what I do, and that's what I advocate for. Thank you. So back to our topic, which is farming through the storm, the fight for food security. Farming through the storm. You know, when we know what storm is, we used to say storm. Oh, that storm is coming. And when storm is coming, we run away from it. Although I recently read about how buffalo run towards the storm. Yeah, they say there's an instinct in their head that make them run towards the storm. But human instincts will run away from the storm. Yeah, and so I think we might learn from buffalo and take a clue from buffalo. So running away from the storm, understand the storm and manage the storm. So, and that's where we're here today to understand the storm I've been through and how I navigate, and I was able to come out with a solution which I want to share and which will motivate somebody, and and we can do something great all together. So, my first focus will be on food security in Canada. When we say food security, so how do we secure our food? How do we ensure that we have access to food? You know, how do we get food to the table? How do we bring food to the table? So that is what we are first going to deal with. So how we first going to the when we talk about food security or food scarcity, food unavailability, it's not saying that you won't see food at all. Because by human nature, we have to function on food. I mean, we need food to survive. So it's either we go a step further to go import to get it in, or buy it at high prices. So when we talk about food scarcity, we're not saying the shelf or Walmart will be empty or whatever grocery store you won't see food, but we're talking about food security is not always empty shelves. It is high price and limited access. The price. You all agree with me 5 years ago, 7 years ago, when you take $100 to go and fill your cart. But now you're doing it with 500. I mean, depends on what you're buying. Especially when you're going for organic product, you spend more money. So that is when we're talking about food scarcity. And to bottom the neck of food scarcity, it's it's about food sustainability. And we cannot sustain anything without planning. So going to general challenges, like I put it here, when I said general challenges, this is not just prevalent to immigrants or prevalent to certain sector of people, but this is a general, unique uh, challenge with Canada as a whole. So the first one I have is farmers decline. In 2021, if you go into the Statistic Canada, you will see that it's a statistic that been done every 5 years, and the last one was done 2021, hoping that another one will be done again in 2026. So we have, as at the last time it was done, we have 1.9% decline in farmers' population, and this is due to aging farmers, because the newer generations are not picking up the skills. They are not picking up the task. They don't want to be farmer. So aging farmers, and also these are challenges that is affecting food security, rising cost of land, fuel, and all farm input. That's by machinery, whatsoever input I put into farming, rising cost of this are the reason why we are facing food scarcity. Weather also, we have weather conditions. So these are things that impede food security. So now, uh, they we are talking this about challenges. There are also one good thing about it, that we can benefit as immigrants. If we're talking of the aging populations, if we're talking of the white men getting old and nobody's ready to take over from them, then you and I have a better place. I have the privilege of getting into this sector because one was retiring and nobody was to pick it. So he was ready to train me. So that was a gap that I clicked into, and that helped me to have the knowledge. I did a 1 year training with him, and he was rounding off, and I received his blessing and was able to buy some of his tools. And that's how I was able to pinch into farming. As that's that was my initial entry story. So now let's go to food statistics. Don't forget, I've told you about the general problem that is we're facing relating to food security and food sustainability. I told you about aging farmers. I told you about the cost of inputs, and I told you about weather, climatization, so weather change. So this is just to corroborate what I've said. Now let's go to statistics. In food statistics, according to Made in Canada and Statistic Canada, agriculture contributes 7% of Canada's GDP. Isn't that massive? 7%. So that means farm revenue from in 2024 is is estimated to be $92 billion. That is massive. That is massive. So, and this opportunity exists within and outside, meaning Canada. UK is for sales in Canada and export. Canada is estimated to export to 200 plus countries in the world. Food export. So it's an opportunity that is open to everybody who wants to key into this prospect. Now, I know we are all muted, but I have a question time. I don't mind if you're muted to answer some of this question. Just a brief question to guide us along. You can be unmuted. I want to hear from you, or you can type it, or you can say. I want to ask this question. It's a personal review exercise before we go into talking about the storm. So we've talked about the sustainability part of it. So I want to ask, where are you from? If anybody is bold enough to tell me, not Akin, not Akin, another person, who are you, or you can anybody randomly, or you want to type it, where are you from? Or we can make it rhetoric if nobody's answering. Where are you from? Who are you? Is anybody answering? Anybody willing?
Yeah, my name is Aderonke. I'm from Nigeria, the
Ooh, thank you.
southwestern part of Nigeria.
Yes, so Omo Naijani me. Hey,
Yes,
thank
so
thank you so much, Madam Adironke. That's great. So from Nigeria, same like I'm also from Nigeria. That's a great one. So another question is, are you a Canadian? When I mean are you a Canadian, I'm not asking by virtue of your status, no. But I'm just so this is not on status or to know who you are. I'm just saying, are you really a Canadian? What will you say about yourself? That, oh, I'm a Canadian. Yeah. When you're living in Canada, does that make you fully a Canadian? Let me put it that way. So that's my question. Anybody? I am living in Canada. Does that make you fully a Canadian? Yes or no? Or anybody is willing to answer that? Okay. If nobody's willing, is anybody? Okay, typing. Anybody shouting? Let me see. Okay. Hold on. Let me read that. Okay. No, no. Living in Canada does not make me a Canadian. Thank you so much. So, we're living in Canada. That doesn't say we are a complete Canadian. We are immigrants. Hello, we are immigrants. So we are immigrants. And what are you doing currently about agriculture? I know we answered that for you. I know we are doing fantastic job. So I celebrate that. And like I said earlier, I celebrate this wonderful organization. You are doing a great job. So, but whatever we're doing is still not enough. I still believe so. I put it here that we are sleeping immigrants. Whoever we are sleeping immigrants. Say, I'm also part of you. We are sleeping immigrants. And what we need to do is to embrace this massive untapped potential and opportunity in the food sector. Like I said, $92 billion. So it's not just figure, it's real. It's real. It's massive. It's massive. So we need to know that we are sleeping and we need to wake up. Okay, that's just a bit of my review. So let's go further. So we'll go further with facts. According to Statistic Canada, which facts don't lie, you can go to as we're talking, you can go and check it. So immigrant is we have 23% of Canada's population currently. And if we say immigrant, 23%, don't this is not black. Italians are immigrant. I mean, so Indians, Arabs. So 23% of Canadian population. And I want to tell you, the black community we fix into this. If you look at it, the farm operators are 8.2 operators. So if among these 8.2, I don't think we have 1% who are farmer, or maybe 0.2. I mean, I don't that statistic is not even available. I try to look for it, I can't find it. So it's as if we are so much, so little, in fact, infinitesimal little, really little. So we are very few people who are into the farming, I mean, agricultural sector. And why? These are the reasons we want to talk about tonight. To talk about that, to increase the percentage and to increase our impact. Okay, let's go further. So we want to talk about storms. What are storms? Like the topic we're dealing with. So we have talked about food sustainability. We want to talk about what is storm? Why? What's our storms? I put it, storms are not real. They are either challenges or excuses. And depends on how you see it. You can make your storm, you can turn your storm into a challenge to overcome. You can turn your storm into an excuse to step aside. So the storm we face, that we can, it's obvious, it's written everywhere. We have systemic racism, we have systemic gap, we know that. So we also have land access. And it's not just, it's the reality. My father, I mean, our forefathers were not raised here. So, and because land in Canada is communal in the sense that it's generational and it's their own legacy. So it's difficult to break into it. Just like we know in the eastern part of Nigeria, you find it hard to get somebody to sell you a land because it is about history. And even in the Yoruba, I don't know much about the Hausa. So I don't know much about Kenya, I know maybe Cameroon, but I know, but land is a legacy. So it is very difficult for a white man to sell his land to you. And if he's doing that, he's selling it at a very high cost. It must that will be very, very, very hard. So land access is a storm because we don't have it. And finance is a storm. We don't have it. How? I mean, I was sharing, okay, the credit system. We are immigrant. You have to build your credit, and when you build your credit, at what level of credit do you think you go to a bank and get access to acquire a land of $1.5 million? We all know that is unrealistic. Those are small. Or the fact that, but to the white man who, through inheritance, his father gave him 250 acres, 50 acres. I mean, the forefather has built the barn over years. I mean, I have a farmer friend, he's still using the truck his father bought. There's over 70 years, and they are very, very neat. They use them to sell apple. So they only use them during the apple season and they pack them, apple and peach. When I look at those trucks, I say, oh, my father bought it. So I'm telling you, still going to handle that same truck to his grandchildren. Because children are not, I mean, I think guns to children is children to his grandchildren. So whatever we build back home in Africa or where we came from, we can't bring them down here. So they are storm. Networking is a storm. How do you great people together? Thank God for the great people of Pamoja. You are doing exceedingly well, and I give it to you. But how do you get those kind of like mind to bring them together to network and form an organization to do something? It's not easy. It's not easy. So networking, even when you produce, how do you sell that? How do you transport it? So those are our storm. But they can either be a challenge or an excuse. Like the Pamoja is taking it as a challenge to come forth with something great, and I give it to you. So, other part is lack of support. We have tribal, yeah, when I put it, tribal support. Even within our own environment, we still don't have the support. So, I mean, people was, oh, you see how people pulling each other down. Those are also storm because we are built with a culture of, I mean, competition, and those are storm. Oh, so but we can always, either you as a business owner or as a buyer, you can learn from this webinar today and decide to say, oh, I will not contribute, I will not pull others down, I will support any dream. Oh, I will support this dream. I will, instead of me pulling down, even with the words of my mouth, if I don't have any finance to contribute. Policy and regulatory barrier, systemic barrier. I've talked about that. Knowledge gap of the Canadian system is part of it. Also, the knowledge of agriculture. The way we plant here is different from what has been done in Nigeria. We have limited season. We have different soil system. In fact, within same area, you're going to have this area with this particular kind of soil move about one, let's say 2-3 kilometers different. You see different topography, the different what causing waterlogged system. Some land are well piled, some are not. So different. So we need to understand when to plant, how to plant, when to harvest, what to do. See, this knowledge is also a storm that we don't have, but we can always turn this storm into a challenge to overcome and not an excuse to back out. So I go into I put it story time, story, first growing up, so story. So this is about story time. I have been through it, and I am still going through it, but I'm better in some area, which I will love to share. I'm not a tourist. I do say I have my leg in the soil. On the soil, I have my leg inside water. I have my heart in the business, and I put everything into it. So I've gone through it. I started with zero knowledge. I had to go to a farmer. It's a white farmer to spend a whole year of learning. Despite that 1 year, that was not still enough. I still invested in. I grew. Because I grew something small. Oh, it became so successful. Then I jumped into 25 acres. Oh, that was good. Then I jumped into 50 acres without adequate knowledge. Then I ran into loss. So these are things that I see as storm that I overcame. I had no access to land. It was difficult, but over time, I was able to get it. So these are things I've also gone through. What about use equipment? I wasn't driving tractor. I wasn't drive. I don't know. I don't know how to operate a triple K. I don't know how to operate a farmer. I don't know how to operate a harrow. I don't know how to use a disc. All these things I didn't know from Adam or from Nigeria, but it was so difficult. But I had to navigate through the system, learn it. So there were times that I have to leave my 9 to 5. There were times I have to forsake some things. I have to just to get myself on this. There are times you have to, losses on your finances. These are a lot that I've also been through. So I also collective bargaining power. I have no friends. Like I can say, oh, in those days there was nobody, no farmer friend, no partner, apart from the only white person I was learning. And he already being a old guy was out of the system. So who could I run to? So I went through it. These are my story. These are my story. So it is not unique to me alone, and or neither unique to whoever listening. Everybody has a story, and whatever your story builds you and makes you better. But the beauty of it is why we share our story is so that others will not fall into that trap, that others can do better. So now I go to our strength. We've had the storm. We've seen We've seen it. But we have strength. There's power in cooperation. It's power in cooperation. And that's why the Pamoja system. Yeah, that's great. Compared to high starting resource farm, I mean, lonely, I have a partner, we do it together. Yeah, great. But I'm not, it's beyond partners. But what about if you have other farmers that you share things with? You maybe you share knowledge, you share equipment, you share motivations, we have a platform. So that is needed. It's a strength that we have to hold to navigate the storm. So share land access has been one of our strengths that we can use. And I see that with you here. And I like I said earlier, that's a very wonderful innovation. That doesn't say it comes easily. It comes with its own challenge. But together with understanding, you can navigate it. Share input. When we work together, we can share. If you have a white farmer uh, near you, you can work with them, share their inputs. There's this called commercial farming. They can land lease system. They can come in, lease your, I mean, you can use no, yeah, you can use their tools. They can, oh, you can, so can we make you clear this land for us? We pay so amount of money. I can remember there are years when I spent a whole week. I was farming 50 acres. So a whole week to break the land, to get my land, to prepare the land for planting. And the other year, I got someone to do that for me for $2,000, and that was done in 2 hours because he was using a big spreader. Was using maybe so that was massive. Oh, so why spending a whole week working every day? My tools are breaking down because they're whole tools, and he has a massive uh massive disc altogether. The disc, the triple K are coupled. You just drive it once, and just $2,000 in less than 2 hours. My 50 acres was done. So that's what's fun, what that can do when you create relationship, not just with people of your color, even with the other nationalities, that you can leverage on their expertise, leverage on their knowledge, leverage on their inputs, and get something done. And if they don't want to, it doesn't start in a day. You build relationship with them. So share risk. When we come together as an organization, we share risk. If I am if I have lost fortune, like I said, but imagine if we share the risk. We have an organization. We can always the lesser impact can be distributed. I mean, the impact can be distributed, and the impact can be lesser. Unlike, oh, it's one person. So, and I remember I had Jay-Z said something. I was listening to one of his podcasts, and Jay-Z said one of the problems with Black community is we want to become a CEO of an organization or maybe a $500,000 or $1 million business, whereby you can form a unit, a group, and become a CEO and become. I have a part in a multi-billion-dollar business. So coming together, we all do 9 to 5 mostly. When we come together as an organization, there's power of cooperation, then we can break it. So, and I want to tell you something. Earlier you saw I am being introduced as the director of Resort Farm. Yeah, I have a partner that we do that together. But recently we also have the Black Farmer Network, and it's not just me. We have an organization people come together to form this non-for-profit. And why was that necessary? I found out that most of the things that I go to get, even from looking for help, looking for government support, you don't get it because you've been seen as a business that, oh, yeah, I know they'll say, oh, go to OFA, go to farm credits, go to all those. I have gone there, nothing. And not because the criteria to get whatever they can offer, it takes years to build it. So, in a nutshell, a non-for-profit becomes an avenue to at least start getting little support. And that's why we created Black Farmer Network, so that can be an umbrella where other farms can come under it, and we can collectively access what belongs to us from the government, from institution. And that is, I'm also appealing to you that that is an avenue that you can use to scale and also come together, not just as a registered business only alone, but come together, join organization where your voice can be heard and whatever we can be able to put together can be shared. I mean, among those farms or wood organizations that form the non-for-profit. So now, some of the strategy I would want to share that can help us scale through the storm. I've told you about the power of cooperation, which is our strength. Also, the strategy. One of the strategies is starting local. That is, you have to check your immediate local needs and grow what they want. You don't just say because somebody's growing this, I want to grow it. What problem am I going to solve? So what problem am I going to solve? Check your immediate local need and grow what they need. First, build a channel, the network within your local unit. Then instead of looking for an off-taker, increase direct to consumer sales. And that is one of our strengths, which is the social networking system, the cooperative system that we build, the church unit, the mosque unit. We are interrelated, unlike unlike the Canadians, where we relate. So you look what is the thing they need. So when you start local, you identify the local needs and you create the market, you grow what they want. So, and when you build that gradually, then you can settle into a bigger phase. So knowing who, and I put it that knowing whom you feed makes you feel good. That's a sense of fulfillment. When I started growing, when I saw people coming around, there's a sense of joy because it's what I love. When I know that I'm feeding this that in this household, about so many household, I feed it on my product. It makes you feel good before the money comes. And who feeds you makes you who feeds you and what you feed on matters. And for us also, maybe you're not a farmer. It's a joy when you know that I'm eating that so vegetable from so farm, and I know it's a healthy plant that I'm eating. And this thing so that makes what you eat feels better. So who feeds you and what you feed on makes you feel better. So now going to another point on how to develop a strategy is to identify your niche. Like I've said it earlier, wealth creation is possible when you identify your niche. What problem are you solving? Because the greatest entrepreneur, whoever, they have to find a problem and they solve it. If you don't solve a problem, it's just a hobby or just a zeal without knowledge. You may be passionate about farming. You may have zeal, but look for a problem you want to solve. What product do we want to create? What do we have the logistic to do? What can the land that we have produce? Okay, what do we have at hand that will not require labor, I mean too much of labor or time to produce? So you're cursed. Look at the pros and cons. Then look at then identify the problem you want to solve. So you can't grow everything as a farmer. So a farmer have to grow, if you don't have to grow everything, but you have to grow something that is valuable to the community you want to serve. So creating wealth in farming, it has to be strategic. So like I said, farming is not entertainment. It requires strategic planning. We plan to get there. And I know we are getting there. So on this, still buttressing on developing strategy, say learn, don't jump. I told you about how I had to learn a year and still I still had to fail because I jumped. I still have to lose some stuff, lose so many because I jumped. Like, it's sometimes it's not how big it is. Success is not, or the success on the farm is not how big. Because the bigger it is, the bigger the risk. Planting a whole 50 acres of land, you put close to $150,000 investment within a year, and you lost everything. Okay, we'll talk of insurance if you're able to get it. And insurance will not pay you equivalent of what you put in. They have to measure on the harvest you sowed the year before, or measure it based on certain conditions. It's always one story or the other. So why do we have to just jump into it and say, like in those days back home, we say, oh, we don't need a goalpost. We have a goalpost. We don't need a goalkeeper. Oh, we put God there. Yeah, great. Especially, we are men of faith. Africans, we believe so much, which is good. But we have to be strategic. So learning, knowledge is so powerful. Don't just jump. So, hey, we did it this year. We're able to plant something great. Oh, now next year we want to expand. We're scaling. Take money from here everywhere, not throw it into it. It's not done. Have you identified your market? Have you identified your risk? Have you considered whether? So don't forget that whatever we are growing are perishable. If you can't get it to the destination on time, that's lost. So I said big vision is great, but strong foundation are better. And any effort you are putting, if you are spending 2, 3, 4, 5 years now, still in a point, you are not wasting energy. You are building foundation. You are learning mastery. You are building relationship with people, with your network, and you are creating capacity. So, and when you have attained the level of capacity that is enough for sustainability to sustain what you're doing, then you can expand. Then you can expand. So, to develop a strategy, I said build partnership. And I've said that within the course of my discussion, that you collaborate to see other farmer within your area, collaborate with them. How can you, if you are clearing, can you clear mine? Can we share that? Instead of you to go out rent a tractor for a year that you just use for a limited time, can we share tractor? Can you? In those days, our fathers, in back in where we came from, uh, I know it's prevalent to all Africa, but not just Nigeria. They do a RO system whereby they go to this person's farm to help and go to the other farm to help. So it's a communal system. So you can incorporate that. And so they won't listen to me. How many of them have you really approached? I mean, the farmers opposite you. Have you ever stopped him by, have a discussion with him? So build something. So don't, especially those people you met, like, oh, they have been doing this for a year. Don't let them feel threatened that you want to compete with them, but let them see. Go to them. Oh, I need your help. We're just growing our own for the community. So, I mean, be open, and they will give you help and be reliable. It takes it takes dignity, it takes trust to build. It's over time. I know in the process of trying to build, it's not easy, but be true to who you are. So what partnership does is not limited to what I put here, but it first creates a sense of mentorship. You have somebody who is mentoring you, somebody who is developing you, somebody you are learning from. You are funding opportunities. What I don't know if in the first year, second year, third year, I'm getting to know them better now because I work under the wings of those who have gone ahead and trying to learn. So mentorship, market access does not come overnight. It is not just built on social media. Yeah, it's built up with time. I mean, time, persistency, consistency, relationship building before you can get to a level of let's say assurance that, oh, I've got so number of people on my track on my network list who is taking my product for so period of time. So one farmer struggles, a network of farmers negotiate. That is a system we have to understand in Canada. When you are seen as one person, they don't take you serious. I was having Mr. Akin was there. I was having a conversation with the deputy minister for agriculture in Ontario, and it was telling us so many organizations. He said, "Hey, you guys are little, but you're still divided. You have so many organizations, but there are 16 framework and organizations that you can go to, and I think they are right. But mind you, if we are forming one and you're doing it alone, if I'm forming one, I'm doing it alone. How can we just become polarized? So if we can work on terms and get ourselves together, you see that things becomes a bit easier. Uh, with collaboration and effort, we'll get the voice and the leverage we need to scale through with our dream and fulfill purpose. So the new vision, I put on our commitment now. The new vision. So the future we must build is based on us. If a future exists, which I know, it is not based on words or theory. I was There's a saying that okay, I mean it's an analysis. The children of who you see that races placard when they are racing placards are the children of those who this parent failed to like maybe put some things in place structure. I'm being honest with you. Although some might be advocate, they might be advocating for something, for a change. But the children, when you see people complain, mostly who raise placard, they are children which one way or the other I might not be 100% sure because there was no structure placed for them. But you and I today need to change something. If you don't want the next generation to start raising placard or be complaining about racism, about systemic racism, complain about inadequacy of some things. Oh, we don't have, if you don't want that, we have to start now. We have to start including them now. So the future we must build is based on youth involvement and empowerment. Let's not say they are not interested. Look at the older farmers that I said they are aging, the white farmers. The kids are no longer interested. And that's why we are having a bit of privilege now to even get those access to land, to get in. I've been in many organizations like many, let's say, conferences. I'll get in there, I'll be the only black guy. And they'll be looking at me. Recently I was in one last month, and so it's organized in excess. And I was there and I came in, nobody even offer me, or they were giving, when you call me they give you a package, but when I came in nobody came to me to, I just went and I sit down. After a while I had to go to the lady I saw that was attending to other people after me, and I say, hey, you didn't give me any package. I said, oh, here people here are growers, they are farmers. I mean, I said, then who am I? So you need to tell me. I said, I'm also a farmer. I have social acre of land. I do this. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because I don't look like them. I'm the youngest in that room. I am the black person. I'm the only black person. So to prevent that, so that then we have to involve our children, youth involvement and empowerment, and we have to know that whatever investment you are putting now is not just for you to gain immediate gratifications. I'm still going to go to that. So agri-tech, we are feed farmers now, but our aim is to get into agriculture technology. We have different forms now, from the hydroponics to aeroponics. So many advanced systems now. They are very, very expensive, but that doesn't mean we won't get there. So policy advocating for policies. This is through NGOs to combine effort, knowledge acquisition, very, very important. If it takes you to do a short program on agriculture, there are a lot of available resources online now. So those are visions that we must incorporate. food processing are areas that we have to also go and learn more about so that we are not just farmers, we become processors. So I put resilience in both green, that farming is not a get rich quick scam. It's a process that takes time. It takes need resilience. It's an investment and it's procedural. It's an investment. It's so resilience has to be built into your DNA to be able to function in this industry. And knowing that you are not just expecting immediate gain. Oh, by virtue of investment, oh, I have. If you don't break through the first year, where are you doing nothing? No, you are not ready. So we are the solution. We are the solution. So, and this is our pledge. I wrote it to say, let the big giant in you arise. Like I told you that we were sleeping in the early. I said, earliest I told you, they let the big giant in you arise. The future we won't change. The future won't change itself. We must create it. No amount of words will. We have to act. Therefore, be the change you want. Therefore, be the change you want, and together we will farm through the storm and change the narratives. Thank you. And that opens me to question and answer. Thank you.
Wow, powerful. Thank you so much. Very informative, so much to unpack, man. I've been taking notes, so thank you so much. You know, the future we build is based on us. You said so much, so much, so much. So I have, so guys, if you have any questions, comments, you can just raise your hand and then I can call on you to ask your question. But I'll start off the Q&A with one question from my end. So the question is, I have the question written here, so I just try to find it. Can you please elaborate on the partnership with the retired farmer and how were you able to find that farmer particularly? Was it someone that you knew before or because that's a key point that I want to kind of highlight and emphasize on because I find that a lot of farmers in Canada, especially, are retiring now. And their children don't want to do any. They don't want to have anything to do with farming.
That's
So
true.
a lot of them want to get rid of their parents' properties, even the land that we Pamoja Farms bought. We acquired it from a 75-year-old man that he lived in the city all his life and his parents died years ago and he's been trying to hold on to the property to kind of like keep their memories alive, but it got to a point where he couldn't hold on any longer, so he decided to sell it. So I find that a lot of farmers are aging now, so their children don't want to farm, so this is a really great in a sense, it's a storm, but it's also an opportunity, which I love that you said that.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for newbies like us to come in and learn. So yeah, I would like you if you can, elaborate on that a little bit more.
Thanks. There's no clear-cut answer to that. Like I
Okay.
can't direct and say, this is the address to the farmers retiring.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So, but you know, whatever you seek, it's a matter of interest. I started looking for farmers like that back from 20, no, I started in 2018. I went to Montreal. I ran Montreal. Sometimes I'll just start driving and go at Saturday. They said, no, you can't get it. It's my father property. Da, 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 da. We can't even lease. So it was, and the day that God will show me favor, I ran into another one, and because I keep driving around the SS. I ran SS, and I ran into another one. I think it was a Goodwill. My wife sent me to go get him something to buy, and I was running around for my adorable wife, and so they met the man, and I had a request, and he said, he's going to get back to me. He would think about it, and he gave me his number. And later, called me. Okay, what do you want to do? I said, I'm not saying I want to buy his farm. I said I want to learn. And I offered to say without a pay. So that was a juicy offer. And without pay, I don't need a pay. I just want to come and learn. And I worked with my heart without pay a year. So when he
Wow.
saw that with me, I had to buy a vehicle and I was selling his product around the city, making $1, $2 because of interest. So it's not because, in fact, I was not making money. Then he saw
Amazing.
that in me and I said, hey, no, I'm going to work with you.
Amazing.
So it takes sacrifice. It takes grace. But I'm telling you, there are a lot of, and I've seen somebody reach out to me recently of a farmer. Somebody just say he don't want to sell this land. It belongs to my parents. I mean, they died. Can you go do something about it here? And somebody reached out to me
Wow.
that they're doing it, but it's not within my area. I mean, reach out to someone who now told me about it, and I said, grab the offer now. Eh?
Mm.
So, it's doable. Let's
Amazing.
keep, I mean, trying and seeking, finding. Now it's scriptural now. When you seek, you'll find.
Exactly. Yeah, in scriptural, I think, believe Matthew 7:7, I
Yeah,
believe.
7-7.
You ask shall be given, seek you find. Basically, what it
Knock
means
and the door
is
shall be open. I think it's
exactly.
like Akin was in church today. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I think if not that I'm farming, I'm supposed to be a pastor actually because
Oh,
the
wow.
scriptures just come naturally like that. But
Yeah, that's
you
great.
know,
So I will have to come and
yeah,
learn from you.
exactly. But basically, to summarize, what you pursue is what you will
Exactly.
uncover.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. That is it.
and
That's it.
and I also love that you said that you didn't go to the farmer with the intentions of making money. You
No.
basically, even you weren't getting paid, you were like hungry for the knowledge.
Yeah.
And from the farmer's perspective, if he was able to see, oh wow, my knowledge is extremely valuable,
Yeah.
that somebody is willing to drive to my place, work for me for free. So it's like a great exchange, and in return, you got knowledge, which you're now using to gain wealth and all this stuff, right? Because money flows in direction of value. So you got the
Mm.
value first.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
the money is flowing, right? You just have to share
By
the
God's
money with
grace.
us now. But amazing testimony, amazing uh points that you've raised, and how you've walked us through your journey of overcoming the various difficulties that you've encountered. Yeah, so I'll open the platform for others if they have questions. We can't let him go scot-free. Please, let's ask let's ask all the tough questions. And if you've not visited, their website before, I mean, you'll be blown away. Um, him and how many staff do you have, or just you and your family, right?
No, 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 no. I do like on a normal because during the farm system, I mean, the system. It's not all year round.
All
So
year round, yeah.
yeah, so
6 months.
I use I might have, let's say during planting season, within 6 people work with me, and when
Mhm.
it comes to harvest, then we look for more. We can 25, 30. But I
Okay,
mostly Nigerians, and they're always helpful, and we build that on relationship.
amazing.
Sincerely speaking, people are not willing to do hard labor anymore, but because of
Hardly,
the
yeah.
relationship, I mean, it's very valuable. It's a key.
Yep,
I mean, people don't want, when people love you, they don't want to see you fail.
that's
So
it.
yeah,
That's it.
and it doesn't mean everybody has to love you. I mean, it's okay. I mean,
Yeah,
the good one will stay back. So
yeah,
that's
amazing.
my
And I mean, I saw pictures of your harvest, bountiful harvest, beautiful pictures, beautiful peppers.
thank you.
This
Thank you.
upcoming harvest, please. I would love to get some myself for my family.
You
So
can be
and
an optical. You
for
can be an
sure, for
optical
sure,
now.
for sure. And I'll definitely make sure Pamoja members also
Please,
uh
that
get
would be great.
peppers from you.
That would be great.
And from the Pamoja side, one of the things we're launching this summer too is harvest boxes. So we have garlic that we've grown ourselves that we're
Yeah, I saw
harvesting.
that, and
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. And in
That's
addition to
money.
that, we want to partner with other farmers. So hopefully, I'll reach out to you after this, and maybe
Okay.
we can get peppers from you as well, and
Yeah, we
include
are
the
very.
peppers in the harvest boxes.
Yeah,
Uh, for
yeah,
our
we're ready.
members.
We're
All
ready.
right.
We're partners already.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
All right.
we're gonna have, I mean, we're gonna have habanero, crimson or super chef, but then we're growing our Nigerian corn. I mean, it's for real.
Amazing.
This
Amazing.
year we've tested it, worked, and we have gone through research and we are growing it this time. Ibe oni agbado for real. Yeah,
Cool. Amazing. Amazing. That's great. And you see, that's one thing that I love about agriculture. We can be innovative. We can bring, our cultural foods. We can grow them here locally. Yeah. So this is amazing. Really, really good. Questions, guys. So do you guys have questions? You know, any questions? No? Okay. Just to add to everything before we wrap up. Um, Another key thing is in terms of like working with farmers that are about to retire. The farmer that we purchased our garlic from, the garlic we planted,
yeah,
he's been extremely helpful. He's an
that's great.
older man in his 70s, late 70s, and to date, he's still calling us and willing to reach, to help us. So one of the upcoming workshops that we're going to have within our group, we will
Yeah,
be inviting him. He's a white guy, a white man, and an older man, and he will come and go through everything and show us how we can harvest our garlic. So there's definitely help out there. So to Pamoja members or to anybody that is going to be watching this, please take advantage of these great opportunities that we have now. We're in such a critical time because of the geopolitical tensions happening in the world, the war in the Middle East, our relationship with America, the Strait of Hormuz being closed, oil can't move around. All those things will have a cascading effect, and they
yeah.
will affect food prices, like my brother mentioned earlier. So please, this is the best time to get into farming with all the advancements, artificial intelligence, all of that. We can't eat technology. We can't eat AI. We have to eat food. So this is the best time. He mentioned $92 billion, right? There's opportunities for, endless opportunities that we can grab. So this is the best time to get into farming. If you want to learn more about Pamoja Farms and how you can become part of our group, visit www.pamojafarms.ca. If you want to find out anything about my brother, I'll share his contact details in the chat as well. Resolve Farms, I believe peppers.ca, correct? Is
Yeah,
that your
that's
website?
it.
All right. So I'll share that in the chat as well, and his details are on our platform. All right.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
all for joining, my brother.
Before you go,
Okay.
there's one more thing. I sent you the link of I'm contesting for the Entrepreneur of Impact. It's a North American competition, and I shared that with you. I haven't seen your photo. so,
I'm voting right now.
so
I'm
the
voting right
vote is
now.
not just once. Okay, the vote
Okay.
is required. It's on daily basis. We are voting till May 28th,
Oh,
when it's going to be announced. And I'm
okay.
counting on Pomoja support. Vote for me. I mean, what we need is to get a visibility. And when the visibility is made, platform can be created. Then
Okay.
then impact can be doubled. So support
Exactly.
your brother, support your own, I beg.
Yes, yes.
So share it on the
Yep,
platform, share with your team.
yep.
It's a free vote, daily vote, once in 24 hours. And if you're free, you still want to support us with money, you can put $10 and vote or more. So
For
nothing.
sure.
Yeah,
For
thank you
sure.
so much. Yeah.
We will be doing that, and I'll share the link with all the members and also send them an email specifically to vote for you. All right,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
sir.
much. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining us this evening. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.
Take care, everyone.